Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Amanda. Today we're gonna talk about the verbs, how they change in future. I also made I think, a podcast about that, but I haven't made the video about it. How the verb they change in future, and you maybe know the verb. They changing according to the situation. All right, they change according to like masculine, feminine, according to singular, plural, past, present, future, right? So yeah, today we're going to talk about like how they change in future, right? It also depends on like a pronouns. So most of the time when we talk about the in past, they mostly depends on the object, right? The object we are talking about, according to that, their sound change, right? But when we talk about future, right, future sentences, so the verb mostly changes according to the pronoun, or we can say the main subject, right? So that's what I'm gonna talk about. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna take like few verbs as example, and I'm gonna tell you how they change. All right. So we're gonna take a verb like pina, right? Pina means drink, right? So how would you say in future? Well, you won't use pina in future. This is the verb a name. Like if you ask somebody like hey, what is the meaning of drink in Punjabi, they would told you like drink means pina, right? But it used differently. In past it's pita, pilia, stuff like that. In future, piunga, piungi, stuff like that. That's what we're gonna talk. Today we're gonna talk about only future, right? Main pani piunga, right? Which means I'll drink the water. If you're a guy, that's how would you say? Main pani piunga. I'll drink the water, alright? If you are a girl, right, then you will say main pani piyungi, right? So you can notice the verb is changing according to the pronoun, right? If it's a masculine, that's piyunga. If it is feminine, that's piyungi. The pronoun is same man, right? But it depends. If you're female, piyungi. If you're a guy, piyunga, right? With the guy, it's a sound. With the girl, it's e sound. All right. So that's how it is. All right. So if you are gonna talk about third person, right, then it's o pani piuga. He drink the water. He will drink the water. O pani piuga. Now you would notice there's no nasal sound when you were using man. That time it's piunga. It was a nasal sound, right? Now there's no nasal sound. It's piuga, right? It's basically the same pronunciation but without the nasal sound. Piuga. If you're talking about the girl, then O pani piugi. She will drink the water. O pani piugi. Got it? Now there's no nasal sound when you're talking about third person. All right. So, for example, if you're talking about a plural, like they will drink the water, how would you say that? You will say like O pani peengi, right? O pani peengi. Like if you're talking about like a masculine plural or mixed plural, that time you will say O pani peengi. Now the verb changed as a peengi, alright? Peengi. Alright? If you're talking about a plural, but it's a feminine plural, if you're talking about the bunch of girls, bunch of women, then you will say O pani peenigiyan. They will drink the water. O pani peenigiyan. Now the verb changed to peenigiyan. Alright? That's how it changes. Now if you're talking about like tusi, alright? So tusi we use for plural. Tusi means you. We use it for plural or to respect a person. Then it's going to be a piyonge. Tusi pani piyonge. Right? If you want to ask, will you drink the water? Tusi pani piyonge. That's how would you say. Now the verb changed to piyonge. Are you noticing how it changing? Like piyunga, piyungi, piyuga, piyugi, peenge, peengiyan, piyonge, right? There's slightly change at the end of the verb. That's how it changes. Now, if you're talking to your friend, like you want to use tu instead of tusi. Tu, if you want to use it with a guy, then you would say like tum pani piyenga. Well, you drink the water, tum pani piyenga. If you're talking to a girl, then tum pani piyengi. Right? If they are your friend, that's how you use tum. Piyenga, piyengi. Alright? That's how people talk. Now, if you want to talk about like we will drink the water, you will say asi pani pimangi. Right now, it's pimangi, asi pani pimangi, or appa pani pimangi. So that's how it is. So yeah, if you're girls, you have option. Yeah, sometimes girls also use as a masculine, like asi pani pimangi. Not a masculine, like they would, yeah, as a masculine they would use asi pani pimangi. But if they want to use it as a feminine, then they would say like asi pani pimangi. Right? So these little changes, that's how verbs change in future. Now another thing, when I was taking like a main pani piyunga, right? I'll drink the water. Basically, I'm talking about the Malba accent, the way we speak here. Yeah, maybe you will see little bit differences in other accent, because I noticed some people say, instead of saying like main pani piyunga, they say like main pani piyanga, main pani piyanga, or main pani pimanga, something like that. They change a little bit slightly different, right? So it's also depends on people's accent, but that's how it changes. So when we talk, we change slightly according to the masculine, feminine, plural, singular. All right. So maybe the people from other area, they change it a little bit differently, but that's how it is. You have to just notice whatever you wanna adopt, you can adopt. All right. It doesn't matter, but you should know when somebody is speaking. You should know what they are talking about. Like when we use like O, we use O for like a they, he, she, it. How would you know that? What we use for? You would use for at the end from the verb. Like if I say O pani piuga, it means I'm talking about the guy. If I say O pani piugi, I'm talking about girl. If I said O pani pinge, basically I'm talking about a bunch of guys or bunch of with a group, which guy and girl. But if I say O pani pinge, they'll drink the water, it means I'm talking about specific girls, the group of girls or two girls, right? So now O basically doesn't tell you which pronoun it is. Is a singular, is a masculine, whatever, it didn't tell you. What it tells at the end what pronoun people are using. Alright? So that's how it changes. Actually, when we make the future tenses, it's not only one way. We make it differently, many ways. But I don't want to talk about everything now because it could confuse you. So, but most of the time that's how we say, alright? So this is basically most common when we say. We can also say differently, like instead of saying main pani piyunga, I can say main pani pina, main pani pinanga, stuff like that, different ways. Basically, when it comes to native people, they use a lot of different ways in the future, right? But keep in mind, the verbs, they change according to situation, according to tense, according to like masculine, feminine, singular, plural. That's all they get. All right.